Hello everyone and welcome back to the UConn Huskies Dynasty. Today, UConn heads to Houston to face off against one of the surprises in the Big 12, the 6-1 Houston Cougars. The Cougars are a team that, based on personnel, you wouldn't necessarily anticipate having as great of a season as they have had. The strongest part of the team probably being the receiver core, and their best player being Jarius Creer, a right guard. They do also have an 87 overall halfback in Randy Schmidt. So you might be wondering how this team has gotten here, and they've honestly beaten some pretty good opponents. An SEC team in Mississippi State, though they are 1-5. Memphis is no slouch of a team. Kansas is pretty middle of the pack. They did lose to Kansas State, but only by 1 point. They beat Colorado, and they beat one of the top dogs in the Big 12 in Baylor. And honestly, starting quarterback Larry Atwood is having a great year. 25 touchdowns to only 5 interceptions. And their run game with Randy Schmidt is averaging 5.5 per carry. So it's been a pretty potent offense. And UConn, of course, coming off of a 10-point victory versus Kansas State, has yet to lose this season. This is a team we cannot underestimate. Definitely a team that seems to be playing outside of their personnel, better than their personnel. And they're 6-1 on the year. Can UConn find another victory? UConn hunting for an 8th straight win. They will start with the football today. Tobin is the back. Pelshak, of course, the quarterback. Tobin will get the carry, and a good open field tackle means only 2 yards. 2nd and 8, Pelshak will go to the air, gets this out to Tobin, can't make the man miss, and loses a yard. So a 3rd and long to start the day for the Huskies. Pelshak out of the shotgun will look to throw, running out of time, launching one downfield, knocked away, a little underthrown for Dan Sanders, who had a step on his man. A miss from Pelshak and a 3 and out to start the day for UConn. So here comes the Houston offense for the first time today. Larry Atwood is the quarterback. And that's Randy Schmidt in the backfield. Atwood under pressure, hit as he throws, but finding his target. That's Eric Cesario. It's honestly great coverage from Santos, but just a better play from the receiver. 1st and 10 up to the UConn 47 already for Houston. Fake handoff, and Atwood down he goes. There's 3 in the backfield, and Jarius Creer, their superstar guard, is going to exit with an injury. I didn't get to see who all got home. Looks like it was Byler, Putu, and I believe that is Corin Daly in the middle. So now a backup guard in for Houston. Might be an opportunity for some more sacks. Atwood back to pass and throwing over the middle. Again, this one is held on to. That's Manuel DeMarco on the reception. Makes it a 3rd down and 10. Atwood out of the pistol will, of course, look to throw again. Throws quickly left side, and that's going to be good for a first from Larry Atwood. The pressure's been getting back there quickly, but Atwood has been getting the ball out even faster. This time it's a handoff to Schmidt, and Adonis Kia will bring him down. 2nd and 7 at the 33. And it's another handoff, Schmidt. Big lane to the left side for Schmidt. And down he goes finally at the 16, 1st and 10 Houston. In the red zone for the Cougars. Atwood hands off Schmidt, trying to find a lane. There's nothing there. Byler and Terrell in the backfield. 3rd and 10 for Houston. Can the defense hold them to a field goal? Atwood over the middle, incomplete. It hit his receiver in the hands. He couldn't hold on. That's Benji Iupati on the attempted reception. Falls incomplete. 4th and 10. They'll attempt a field goal. This is a chip shot. Only about 32 yards on the kick. It is on its way. It is good. So the first team to score is Houston. A big return from Randy Radovich brings us all the way to the 42 to start this new drive. Went 3 and out on the first one. Looking to do a little bit better this time as Cadet gets a carry, but only finds 3 yards. 2nd and 7. Tobin back in the backfield. Play action. Quick throw from Pelshak finds Dan Sanders trying to fight for the extra yardage. He's just shy of the first. 3rd and 1. Tobin still the back. He'll get the carry, and a free blitzer from the left side stops him in place. It's a loss of 3. 4th and 4. UConn's going to have to punt again. Houston to start from their own 19 this time. Their defense doing a stellar job thus far of stopping the run as Schmidt gets a carry and gets 3. 2nd and 7. Atwood looking to throw under some pressure. Off his back foot, incomplete. And another Houston injury. That one forced out by Joshua Dora. 3rd and 7. A blitz being sent. Atwood throws, and it's incomplete again. Forced out by Dora one more time, and Houston will go 3 and out. So let's see if this offense can figure some things out. Yet to see a first down today from the 35 as Cadet gets a carry, and it's a good one. Finally, a first down picked up for UConn, and it comes off of Max Cadet. At the 46 now, fresh set of downs. Cadet gets the carry, and up the middle, it's another good one for about 7. On 2nd and 3 from the 48, Pelshak will look to throw, taking a deep shot. He's got Dan Sanders. It's knocked away. A little bit overthrown from John Pelshak. On 3rd and 3, Pelshak back to pass again, and he wants Dorian Tobin this time. Downfield, Tobin makes the grab up to the 13 on the corner route. Maybe that throw will help John get a little bit more settled into this game. 1st and 10 from the 13. Tobin will get the carry, has to make a move, spins off one defender, and finds 5 yards. On 2nd down, Pelshak to throw. Man open underneath. It's Tevin Madu, and they mark him short of the first there. That's surprising. Definitely looked like he had it. 2nd quarter officially underway. It's the Wildcat formation on 3rd and inches for the UConn Huskies. Cadet comes over in motion. Tobin will hand it to Max, and there's nobody there to touch Max Cadet down. He's into the end zone for 6. UConn scores on this new drive, finally getting the offense going a little bit. No longer 3-0. It'll be 7-3 UConn after the PAT. So this Houston offense unable to find its rhythm since the first drive. 1st and 10 from the 17, their first possession of the 2nd quarter. Atwood will fake the handoff, and then on the comeback route finds his man. It's Benji Iupati. First down picked up for the Cougars. Somebody jumped. I think that's going to be on Keogh. Now 1st and 5 for Houston. Handoff Schmidt. Nowhere to go. Swallowed up by Corin Daly and Addison Biggs. 2nd and 6. It's an empty set for Atwood. From the 37, he brings a man in motion, and it goes to that man on the jet touch pass. It's Schmidt, brought down, but falling forward for a first. Nearing midfield, Atwood will hand it off. Schmidt, Addison Biggs untouched into the backfield, a TFL. 2nd and long for Atwood. What's he got for us? It is Juan Beaver, the backup halfback, in the backfield, and it's a screen for him. It's going to pick up a good chunk of yardage, making it a more manageable 3rd and 6. From the 48, 3rd and 6. Atwood, time to throw, and over the middle, he's got his man. Santos gets beat, and Byler has to bring him down, but he's all the way up to the 15. The blitz couldn't get home. Sent some pressure on 3rd down. Atwood did not care. This time, Schmidt gonna get another carry. Joey Terrell is there, but Schmidt fighting for that yardage gets 4. So will Houston be able to answer back with a touchdown of their own? Schmidt on the carry, trying to find a lane, brought down before he reaches the first down marker. 3rd and 3 from the 8. Atwood sends his man over to the right. Will look to throw, a man over the middle. That is completed and good for 6 points. Touchdown, Houston. It's the tight end, Max Knowles, on the reception. Byler apparently not sure who his man was, with another blitz being sent. Houston answers back. They'll retake the lead here with 6 minutes left in the 2nd. This time, a bad kickoff return means that we start from our own 15. Pelshak is out of the shotgun. Back down by 3 are the Huskies. This throw is completed to Terry Overhauser for a pickup of 8. Wildcat again for the Huskies. 2nd and 2. Tobin on the carry. Nobody picked up the most important block, and Tobin doesn't get to go anywhere. So a 3rd and 4. Pelshak back to pass. He wants Dalton Schmizniak over the middle. Room to run for Dalton Schmizniak. A big pickup on his first catch of the day, up to the enemy 49. 1st down and 10. Pelshak to throw again, and he wants Dalton one more time and finds him for a short pickup. 2nd down, 4 minutes left to play in the half. Cadet will get this carry and only finds a yard. The run game has not been there today. 3rd down and 4, probably outside of Tyreek Hollis field goal range, as Pelshak will throw for Tobin, who makes the grab, has open space, and runs up to the 25. 1st down and 10, play action. Pelshak to throw. He wants the tight end, Dan Sanders. Weird off-balance throw for Pelshak, but it does pick up 6. Pelshak only 2 incompletions so far on the day. 2nd down and 4. Max Cadet is the back. Max Cadet will get the carry, and he had a lot of open space if he could just get around one guy. Instead, it's a TFL, and now we hit the 2-minute timeout. 3rd and 4. Back to passes. Pelshak has Tobin wide open. Can't make the man miss, but most importantly, he has the first. From the 11, Pelshak to throw, setting up a screen for Cadet. Has some blockers, cuts it back to the middle, but can't outrun his man. Wow, the ball got flung there at the end. About a minute left to play in the half. Houston does start with the football in the 2nd. Pelshak from the 5 will look to throw, and he's got Tevin Madu wide open, off balance on the catch, but he finds his way into the end zone anyway. Touchdown, UConn. This back and forth game continues as the Huskies will retake the lead. 14-10 pending the PAT, and hopefully the defense can make a stand before halftime. 55 seconds left on the clock. 52 seconds and 3 timeouts for Houston to find its way down the field and find 6 more points. All kinds of time to throw and finding a man, breaking a tackle. Are they going to get the points on one play? Joshua Dora has to chase the man down, and a huge pickup to start Houston's new drive. For a moment, it looked like Byler was going to make a play on this, but for some reason, Jukes back the other way despite the ball already being in the air as he's running to the left. That only wasted 9 seconds off the clock. 1st and 10 at the UConn 30. Blitz being sent. Atwood throws, finding a target. He's been so good against the blitz today. Timeout called for Houston again. Nobody's been able to get home. Atwood to throw again. Blitz picked up nicely one more time. Atwood scrambling, intercepted by Gerard Byler, and he got his foot down in the end zone, preventing the touchdown. Preventing any points at all from being scored by Houston on this drive. What a play from Byler. Had the misplay to allow the huge play that got Houston down the field, but now makes an interception when it matters the most. 33 seconds, all of our timeouts. Could try to make something happen, as Pelshak will look to throw. He wants Terry Overhauser. That is knocked away. 2nd and 10. Pelshak back to pass again. Gets this to Dorian Tobin. Cannot make anybody miss in the open field. And I think with that, we're just going to let it go to half. 14-10 for UConn over Houston here in the first half. A good game thus far. Definitely been pleasantly surprised by the Houston offense. I really thought we would be able to shut it down pretty easily. This is one of the weaker offensive lines we've faced in a few weeks, but man, they just get it done. Atwood seems to be really good under pressure and against the blitz. Only had that one interception as a mistake. So as mentioned previously, Houston does start with the football here in the 2nd half. Atwood will fake the handoff and then looks to throw. Hit as he throws. Corin Daly getting in the backfield. So an incomplete pass on the first play. Atwood empty set for the second one. No man in motion this time. Just him throwing, and takes the check down left side. A little bit of open field for Max Knowles to run into. Makes it a 3rd and 2. From the 27, 3rd and short. Atwood will throw, and over the middle, finding his target, who will not go down. It is Max Knowles again. Our coverage over the middle of the field has been bad, to say the least. From the 41 of 1st and 10. Fake handoff to Schmidt. All kinds of time to throw for Atwood, and another wide open player over the middle of the field. It's Eric Cesario against Jamie Santos. From the 37 of 1st and 10. Fake handoff again as Atwood looks to throw. And he runs into Keogh, breaks out of the tackle, has room to scramble, finds a blocker, and is just short of the first. Adonis Keogh with an opportunity to get another sack on his great season. Misses the tackle. 2nd and inches from the 27. And Atwood, blitz picked up again very nicely, and it's a throw over the middle. Randy Schmidt appears to be a great pass blocking running back. 1st and 10 from the 16. This time Atwood throws left side. Coming back to it is Cesario, and he's just shy of the first. That is his 6th catch for 100 yards. This has been a disappointing showing for this defense, the most disappointing of the year for certain. Schmidt leaping over Addison Biggs. He gets the first. 1st and goal for the Cougars. Schmidt is the back. Atwood will hand it to him. Schmidt into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. And they will retake the lead once again, exposing this defense in ways that no other teams have so far this season. Just with precision and with long sustained drives. It's not like they're beating us deep most of the time. It's just play after play, positive yardage after positive yardage, and they find their way to 6. So a tight game versus the Cougars. 6.5 left to play in the third quarter. Pelshak seeing the ball for the first time in the second half. Man, there was so much open field for Cadet, but just got burned on the D-line. On 2nd and 11 from the 26. We'll go to the ground again. Tobin, good open space for Dorian. Tobin runs into his safety and goes down at the 43. We can just get Tobin into the open field. There's really nobody quite like him. First down and 10. Tobin will get another carry. Can't make the man miss. Our backs seem to be struggling to make tackles today. On 2nd and 7, it's empty set Pelshak. He gets this to Madu, but it's off the mark from John. That makes it a 3rd and 7 as Pelshak will go back to pass again. And he wants Overhauser over the middle, makes the grab. Huge hit late, but it didn't matter. 1st and 10 from the 38. Cadet is the back. Pelshak will hand it off to him, and Cadet up the middle gets 7, making it a 2nd and 3. Back to pass again with Pelshak, and this is to the tight end, J. Joe, who does make the grab for the first. On first down, Pelshak had time and finding Dalton Schmizniak. Can he make 2 people miss it once? He does! Dalton Schmizniak into the end zone. Touchdown, UConn. The star wideout who burst onto the scene last season comes to play today, making 3 men look stupid on this one, and on his way into the end zone, UConn will retake the lead once again. A really bad return sees Houston starting from the right hash on their own 12. That has not been a problem for them in the past. Atwood has blockers and has a man open. Where is the pass coverage today? It is horrendous. 1st and 10, nearly up to the 30. Atwood changing the play, and then we'll keep it on a read option. Open field for Larry Atwood, and he's just shy of the first down marker. I'm sure other teams are taking notes of how poorly UConn has performed defensively today and what Houston is doing differently to make that happen. Schmidt will pick up the first down. Empty set Atwood on a 2nd and 10, brings a man over in motion, and it is a jet touch pass. Open space for Schmidt, and he gets 8. 3rd and 2 from the 49. It's a fake to Schmidt. Atwood will look to throw and has a man again. Joshua Dora can't keep up, and it's another pickup for the Houston Cougars. Atwood is incredible against the blitz today. Nothing we can do as Schmidt gets a carry, and he's brought down in the backfield by 3 different UConn defenders. Now 2nd and 12. And Schmidt, it's a fake to him. Atwood under pressure again, but this time he finally goes down. Adonis Keogh not going to miss 2 tackles, and it's a sack for a loss. That is Adonis Keogh's 20th career sack, I believe his 12th on the season. That is a big-time play to start the 4th quarter. 3rd and 18 for Houston. Fake handoff as Atwood has all kinds of time to throw. Literally a perfect pocket, but he wastes it by running into D'Angelo Townsend, who starts another sack. 4th and 21 coming up for Houston. 9:37 left to play. They're down by 4. I wouldn't be entirely shocked if they go for it here. But no, they are bringing on the field goal team. This will be a pretty long attempt. It's veering to the right. It's no good from the Houston kicker. Wide to the right, and UConn maintains a 4-point lead, as well as getting pretty decent field position for the new drive. The game might be slipping away for Houston after that. Down by 4. Pelshak and Tobin in the backfield. Tobin will get the carry, makes a cut, and gets 7. On 2nd and 3 from the 39, Pelshak will hand off to Cadet, makes a man miss. Max Cadet breaks another tackle. He didn't want to go down, had eyes for the end zone, brought down at the 46, as Cadet has 642 yards on the season. Under 8 minutes left to play, UConn driving. And from the Houston 46, Tobin gets the carry and does hold on to the football for a pickup of 7. 7 minutes left. Tobin on another carry has another first. Cadet checks in on a 1st and 10. gets a carry, has some room, doesn't truck over the DB like he normally would. It's only good for 4 yards. But the clock continues to tick away. Little under 6 minutes left. 2nd and 6. Tobin on a carry. Nowhere to go, no gain. And now a 3rd and 6 with 5 minutes left to play. Pelshak is back to pass. He wants Dalton Schmizniak, and he holds on. Tight window throw there from John Pelshak. The coverage on Schmizniak was actually pretty solid. 1st and 10 at the 17 as Schmizniak makes the catch anyway. 4.5 left to play. Tobin, another carry, breaks a tackle, falling forward for 4 yards. On 2nd and 6, Cadet gets a carry, makes a move, falling forward, and a 1st and goal for Max Cadet. Wildcat formation in the red zone, inside the 10. Tobin gets the carry, can't find the edge. No touchdown for Dorian Tobin. 2.5 left to play. 2nd and goal from the 2. Tobin, Wildcat keeps it again. He's into the end zone this time. Touchdown, UConn. And that might be the dagger. The missed field goal from Houston gonna haunt them till the end of their days, as it would still be a 1-possession lead for UConn right now. They'd have a chance to tie with a 2-point conversion. Instead, their kicker misses wide right. UConn drives down the field, gets 6, and now we're up by 2 scores. 1st and 10 for Houston, as they've got to find a way to score twice in the last couple minutes of this one. Schmidt will pick up 8 to start this drive. Will they be able to get a play off before the 2-minute timeout? Atwood changing the play. Only 2 seconds before the timeout is called. Gets it off. Atwood scrambling. Some open field and a blocker down the field. He'll slide down and the 2-minute warning will go off. 1:57. 1st and 10 from their own 42. Atwood. Plenty of time, really good pocket, scrambling right side. That one is caught by Max Knowles, the tight end, and he's into UConn territory. So 1st and 10 from the 38, Houston driving, and Atwood under some pressure again, scrambling right side, and Adonis Keogh will get another one. 2nd and 17. Atwood had nowhere to go that time. The clock is still moving. They have not used those timeouts yet. 1:30 left to play. Atwood running out of time again, takes the check down to Schmidt, and they'll call their first timeout. 3rd down and 9 to go from the 37. Atwood, good pocket again, starting to collapse at the end. He throws a pick. Good night. Houston going home empty-handed. They gave us a run for our money, but A.J. Hepburn stabs a dagger through their hearts, and UConn will stand at 8-0 atop the Big 12 after a couple of knees are knelt. Game over. It was a valiant effort from Houston. That missed field goal really kind of felt like the end. I don't know if you guys felt that as well, but as soon as that missed wide to the right, it was just all momentum for UConn. That is a good Houston team, though. I'm pleasantly surprised by that team. On paper, it just doesn't look like they should be able to contend, but that might be one of the toughest opponents we've played all season, to be honest with you. And I am very impressed with the play of Larry Atwood. Yes, he threw 2 pretty bad interceptions, but outside of that, the man was kind of doing it all for the Cougars. He was under pressure constantly, but making really good reads and really good throws, getting the ball out quickly to not take too many sacks. He did have a couple of them this game, but yeah, just a really good game. I'm impressed with Houston. But UConn is now 8-0 on the season. Here's a look at the stats from today. Here's Atwood's stats if you're curious. He really did have a really good completion percentage at 75%. It's really just those 2 picks that kind of killed him. For UConn though, Pelshak, really efficient day. 17 for 21. 199, 2 touchdowns, no picks. If you get that from John or any quarterback any week, you're going to win most of the time. He's completing most of his passes. He's getting first downs, got a couple touchdowns. It's not a super impressive stat sheet, but it's one that is like, we will take that every single week. For rushing, Tobin again kind of struggles on the ground, just can't seem to get it going on the ground. Max Cadet, however, continues to impress. Out of the backfield, 12 attempts for 70, 5.8 per carry for him. In the receiving game, Dorian Tobin, 5 for 68, no touchdowns. Dalton, 4 for 73 and the touchdown. Dan Sanders had a couple catches today. Terry Overhauser had a couple including a pretty crucial third down. Tevin Madu, a couple grabs. He was actually targeted, I believe, the most, but him and Pelshak clearly not on the same wavelength all of the time. Did, of course, have the touchdown, though. Defensively, Joshua Dora and AJ Hepburn lead with solo tackles. Total tackles, also Joshua Dora. It's never really a good sign when a safety is getting the most tackles. That just means that they're kind of getting to the second level a little bit too much, which I think was especially true in the passing game today. And Adonis Keogh continuing to extend his lead in the sacks department. 2 on the day, a bunch of guys with half a sack. And then, of course, Hepburn and Byler, each with an interception. So UConn stays undefeated. Houston falls to 6-2. And after advancing the week, the 5-star corner Larry Hay has committed to the UConn Huskies, as has 5-star defensive tackle Jim Clemens. Adonis Keogh wins Big 12 Defensive Player of the Week for his 2-sack performance. And now we're on to face off against Iowa State. Larry Hay, by the way, is a huge commit. He is the #1 corner recruit in the country, the #6 player in the nation. Here are his attributes if you haven't seen him before. He has 93 speed. He's also a big-bodied guy. He is 6'2" as a corner, which is pretty big. His man and zone coverage are fairly even at 78 and 70. He does read as a slot tendency type, which of course we are losing AJ Hepburn. And with his increased size, it does kind of make sense that he would potentially play in the slot. We also have 5-star D tackle Jim Clemens. He's the #2 D tackle in the country. He has officially committed. He is a big run stopper guy with really great strength, good play recognition and pursuit. Really heavy hit power, hoping he can force some fumbles in there. Block shedding needs some work, and he's not the fastest guy, so he's got room for improvement for sure, but still one of the best players in the country, heading to Connecticut. That bumps us up to the #3 class so far this year, behind only Oregon and Notre Dame. Matthew Kane is a guy we might lose to Oregon, actually, as he visits with them in week 13, and they are making significant ground up. At this point, though, I think it's time to kind of find our second wave of recruits we might want to go after. We'll be very selective with this. If it's a 3-star guy, absolutely has to be a gem, and then we may look at some 4-star guys. I imagine most of the 5 stars are gone by this point, but we do still have some team needs, specifically at linebacker. So after fiddling around with the board for a few minutes, here is what I have come up with. There is a new quarterback on the board. You might be wondering why we don't really need quarterback. I think the argument to be made in college football is that you kind of always need everything. John Pelshak will be a sophomore next season. That's when Tyler Trejo would be in. Trejo would obviously be redshirted, and then Pelshak would be a junior in Trejo's redshirt freshman season. So then, of course, Pelshak, assuming he doesn't declare for the draft or something, which he very well could, after his senior year, Tyler will be going into his junior year, and I think is well set up to play a similar type of game that Pelshak can. He is a little less athletic, more of a true kind of pocket passer type than Pelshak, but he is more athletic than Cole Welliver was. He has a strong arm with what look like quite good accuracies, and he's a gem. So I don't think it's a bad idea to try to bring him in. I definitely find him as a bit more exciting of a recruit than Keenan Beagle, who is a guy we've just been kind of idly throwing points at here and there. And then we did also add a couple new players to the board in LaMichael Haywood, a 4-star middle linebacker. He is not a gem, but he is a pass coverage tendency type, which is what I really like in the middle of my field. Fast guys who can cover the pass. He's not as fast as a Joey Terrell with 88 speed, but Joey Terrell was kind of a one-of-a-kind guy. It's going to be hard to replace him regardless, but I do think LaMichael Haywood can get pretty close. Another new guy to the board is 3-star gem Dwayne Bullard, who is an outside linebacker power rusher archetype. And then at the very bottom of the board, there's a bunch of guys I still have to scout. But once again, a really, really good recruiting class for UConn, who has dropped to 4th, by the way, I'm just noticing, because for some reason, our wins are valued less than other teams. So teams continue to jump us, even though we have no losses and these two teams do. I understand that their resumes are probably better than ours. We have not really played a super challenging opponent yet this season, and likely we won't until we reach the playoffs, if we reach the playoffs. And that is also with Nebraska having lost a game to Northwestern. We still lost a spot. You'd think we'd have jumped up to 2nd, but no, Georgia and UNC both jump us and we actually lose a spot despite the Nebraska loss. They were previously in second. The top 5 after that consists of Oregon, Ohio State, California, Florida, Michigan State, and Kentucky. Michigan State and Nebraska playing next week. That's a really exciting matchup to look out for. Western Kentucky up to 11th, continuing to perform really well since joining the American. I thought it would be a tougher challenge for them. It has not been so far. They've been dominating the American the same way they dominated Conference USA. So in the Big 12 right now, we are the only remaining undefeated team at 8-0. It's kind of looking like Utah may be our opponent in the Big 12 championship game if things continue as they are. Utah, a really good football team. TCU, previously undefeated, has finally dropped their first game and now find themselves behind UConn and Utah. As for the Heisman watch, Tobin is still on the list but has dropped from second to third. The issue for Tobin right now is that he is not usually the focal point of the offense. Not that anybody else is really. We're playing a type of offense right now that spreads the ball around a lot. Cadet is getting a ton of touches. Tobin's getting a ton of touches. Schmizniak, Madu, Overhauser, Sanders. There's so many good players on this team to be getting touches right now that it's just hard for Tobin to be that standout guy, except for a game here and there. By the way, just an update for you guys. One thing I am going to change going forward, we're going to switch to 12-minute quarters. The games right now feel a little bit too short. I think adding 1 minute to each quarter will help that quite a bit. But anyway, that is going to do it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching and for the continued support. If you find yourself coming back on the regular and you aren't already subscribed, go ahead and hit that sub button for me. It does help me out a lot. And I will see you guys in the next episode where UConn takes on Iowa State, looking to stay undefeated and securing a spot in the college football playoffs.